Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, in this video, we will learn about the Adhan, the virtue of the Adhan, how to do Adhan properly, and how to make it sound nice as well, inshallah. So, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam tells us that if you really understood the value of Adhan, you would not be content to not do the Adhan. Everybody would be so excited to do the Adhan that they would end up having to draw lots to decide. Drawing lots is more of a method which they would use at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. The modern day equivalent might be something like rock, paper, and scissors, where you play the game and then you decide who sits in the front or whatever. But for the Adhan, because there's so much value, the Prophet ﷺ says if people really knew how virtuous it is, what an amazing opportunity it is to do the Adhan, if people really understood it, they would compete over it and they would draw lots. They would, they wouldn't let somebody else do it without putting up a bit of a fight. As well as this, Abdurrahman ibn Abi Sa'at al-Ansari, he mentions that wherever you are, always do the Adhan loudly, because he says that I heard the Prophet ﷺ saying that everything that hears the Adhan, whether it's a human, whether it's jinn, whether it's a tree, whether it's an animal, whatever, wherever the sound of the Adhan reaches, every single thing in that vicinity will testify for this person on the Day of Judgment. So there's so much virtue for the Adhan, something to get excited about, something to really work hard for. Now when it comes to the Adhan, there's two main ways to make sure the Adhan is done properly. Number one is to say the words properly. So this is studying the words which are used to say the Adhan. And these are fixed words. We have to learn the words which are said properly. And we study them carefully. We look at the letters, we pronounce the letters clearly and articulate them. And that's the first step, making sure the letters are said with the correct pronunciation. Once that's done, then there's an opportunity to work on the tune, on the length and the beauty of the voice. But the first thing is actually just to study the letters. So we'll look at what happens in the Adhan. The first thing is Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So Allahu Akbar twice. When you join it together, the Ra gets a Dhamma. Allahu Akbar, Rullah, Rullahu Akbar. Important to look at all of the letters. Allahu, the Hu in the name of Allah. Akbarullah. Whenever you've got the name of Allah in the Adhan, the Lam will be full mouth. Rullah, Rullah, as opposed to Rulla. Rullahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So it's said twice and then it's repeated once. So 4 times altogether. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Take your time to look at the letters. Make sure you know which letters are where and how they are pronounced. Remember the Ra has a Dhamma, Rullah, and the name of Allah is full mouth. Allah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That's the first bit. The second phrase is Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. The name of Allah, notice, is here, is at the end. Illallah. That lam will be full mouth. The rest of the lams, la ilaha illa la. Apart from the last lam in the name of Allah, all of the lams are going to be empty mouth, nice and light, nice and smiley. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. One thing which is very easy to miss is the ha at the end. The name of Allah, Allahu, when we're stopping at the end, illallah, Allah. So the ha, you should be able to hear it. A breathy sound, bottom of the throat. illallah, illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. And there'll be a mad in the la ilaha, so that will be long. You can take your time to study the letters, look at the letters, name of Allah full mouth, ha at the end of the name of Allah, clear and distinct, should be audible. Then ashhadu, the next phrase, which again, so you say ashhadu an la ilaha illallah twice, then ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. We've got the name of Allah again at the end, keeping in mind full mouth. Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. So anna long, Muhammad long, darra, ra is full mouth, darra, Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Then we move on to Ya ala salah. Salah. This is the prayer. Come to the prayer. Salah has a ha at the end. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Look at the letters. The ya, hayya, ya is nice and strong. Ala salah, that will be twice. Again, take your time to look at the letters. Pause the video if you need to truly understand which letters are where. Where's the ha from the middle of the throat? Where's the ha at the end? Then, hayya ala al-falah, falah. There's a ha at the end, middle of throat, stronger sound. Not like the ha in the name of Allah. Hayya ala al-falah. Hayya ala al-falah. Okay. Then is back to what we had at the beginning. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. We did that at the beginning, remembering Allahu Akbar. And then the final thing, La mad, there's going to be elongation of the lam at the beginning. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Remember the ha at the end. Ha should be pronounced. So if you're looking to do the adhan correctly, the most important thing is to make sure you know which letters are where and that you are pronouncing all of the letters. This is the primary thing. This is the most important thing. And then when it comes to adding beauty to the adhan, this is also very important. The simplest way is to create a rhythm throughout the adhan. So as most of the things come in pairs, you have Allahu Akbar twice, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah twice. So the first one, you keep it sharp, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And the second one, you extend it a bit. While extending, practice the extension, like saying it with length and not letting your voice shake. Allah. See if you can keep a solid sound. Allahu Akbar. And then see how long you can take. And if you need, always take a breath between each phrase, each sentence. So, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Take time to breathe in a little bit. Allahu أكبر الله أكبر. And the simplest way to have a tune is to keep the sound relatively solid. So I'm not like going Allah, I'm not going like up, Allah. It's not, we're not trying to like hit all the musical notes. It's just simple Allahu Akbar. If you go long, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And when you keep that simplicity, you don't lose the focus on the letters. So you still keep the correct pronunciation. For the next example, Ashhadu. Ashhadu Allah. Remember the mad is on the lam, la. So that has to be long. So when you start making things longer, think about where you have to make things long. And if you see the mad, or you know it's elongated, that's where you have to make it long. Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah. Ashhadu Allah. That would be that was normal. So if you were trying to do one sharp and one long, Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah. Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah. And then next one, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And then to make it longer, the anna Muhammad can be nice and long, and then just the ending. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. So up until now, in these two, Ashhadu Allah ilaha, Ashhadu anna Muhammad, the ending can be long as well. And then Hayya ala salah, Hayya ala salah. So the ending again. So the first one, Hayya ala salah. Next one nice and long. Same with falah. Hayya ala al-falah. Hayya ala al-falah. Keeping the sound solid. Once you get very confident with the solid sound, you can practice tunes, you can try and imitate other adhans. But for the initial practice, just keeping that solid sound. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. And that's the adhan. So remember, the number one thing you'll be marked on is the quality of the pronunciation. Making sure the letters are clear. The has are there. Yeah, Rasulullah, Allahu, hu Akbar, Hayya, and the Rullah. Making sure you got the right letters in the right place. Then after that, only then do you try and apply beauty and length and getting some rhythm going. To continue improving the rhythm of the adhan, one of the best ways is to listen to adhans that you like from other mosques or places, people and muadhins that you like, and by copying their tune, or you can try and copy their tune, and that will help you develop more of a rhythm and a tune, inshallah. So I pray that Allah gives us all the ability to love the adhan, to feel the importance of giving the adhan, and to put in the hours of practice required to give a quality adhan. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.